A few years ago, everyone kept saying the same thing. Smart homes would replace remote controls. Then, voice assistants would replace smart homes. And eventually, smart homes would automate everything anyway. So here's a question I honestly didn't expect to ask in 2026. Why would anyone buy a remote control? When Astrion asked me if I'd like to test the remote, my first reaction wasn't, where do I sign up? It was more like, haven't we already solved this problem? I already have Home Assistant on my phone, and I have Voice Assistant, I have automations, I even have smartwatches. Surely another remote control is the last thing I needed. But after using it for a couple of weeks, I realized I was asking the wrong question. This isn't trying to replace my phone. It isn't competing with voice control, and it certainly isn't trying to replace Home Assistant automations. It's simply trying to be the fastest way to control my home when I actually want to control it. Because here is something I've realized over the years. Good smart homes aren't trying to remove every interaction. They are trying to remove the unnecessary ones. Sometimes the fastest interface is fully automatic Home Assistant automation. Sometimes it's your voice. And sometimes it's simply a device that's already sitting next to you on the sofa. We'll be starting in a couple of seconds. The more I used Astrion, the more I realized something interesting. This isn't really a remote control. It's more like carrying a tiny Home Assistant dashboard in your hand. Everything you see here isn't built into remote. It's Home Assistant. My lights, my climate, music assistant, scenes, scripts. Whatever already exists inside Home Assistant can appear here as well. That's an important difference because I'm not learning another ecosystem. I'm simply accessing the one I already use every day. Setting it up was actually much simpler than I expected. Connect it to the Wi-Fi, generate a long-lived access token, bind it to the remote, install the remote OS card or ROS card through Hex, and that's basically it. A few minutes later, it already felt like just another Home Assistant dashboard. Of course, before I actually used it, I spent half an hour deciding how the dashboard should look. Yeah, Home Assistant users don't buy new devices. We buy new excuses to redesign our dashboards. What surprised me most wasn't the interface. It was how quickly it became muscle memory. Pick it up, unlock, tap climate, done. No opening an app, no waiting for my phone to wake up, no notifications getting in the way because apparently someone really wants me to know there is a sale on socks today. That's when I realized Astrion isn't trying to replace my phone. It's trying to replace those 5 or 6 seconds of friction that happen every single time you reach for your phone, just to turn light on or adjust the air conditioner. Individually, those seconds don't matter. Together, they happen dozens of times every day. The biggest surprise wasn't what Astrion could control. It was when I actually found myself reaching for it. At first I thought it would replace my phone. It didn't. I thought it would replace Voice Assistant. Turn on kitchen lights.
Turned on the lights.
Turn off master bedroom lights.
Turned off the lights.
Turn off living room lights.
Turned off the lights.
It also didn't, and thankfully it definitely didn't replace Home Assistant automations. It simply found its own place somewhere in the middle. Take the air conditioner for example. Could I control it from my phone? Of course. Could I ask Voice Assistant? Absolutely. But when I'm sitting on the sofa watching a film or a movie, reaching half a meter for remote is still quicker than reaching for my phone, unlocking it, opening Home Assistant, and finding the climate dashboard. The same happened with SwitchBot fan. I don't constantly change its settings, but sometimes I want a little more airflow. Sometimes a little less. Sometimes I just want it off. It's one tap away, and that's usually faster than any other option. Lightning was probably the biggest surprise. I already have automations everywhere. Sunset, motion sensors, presence sensors. Most of the time I never touch a light switch. But there are still moments where I simply want to override the automation. Movie night, guests, working late, that's exactly where Astrion fits in. And then there is Music Assistant. I wasn't expecting to use it much, but being able to walk into another room, pick up the remote, and start musing without pulling my phone out turned out to be surprisingly convenient. The interesting part is, none of those things are actually new. I could already do every single one of them before Astrion arrived. Turn on master bedroom lights.
Turned on the lights.
What changed wasn't what Home Assistant could do. It was how effortlessly I could do it with this remote. I think this is the biggest reason Astrion ended up staying on my coffee table instead of going back into the box. It doesn't try to replace Home Assistant. It extends it. Everything I've shown so far already existed before Astrion arrived. The automations, the dashboards, the entities. The remote simply became another way of interacting with them. And I genuinely think that's the right approach. Too many smart home products try to become the center of your smart home. They come with their own apps, their own automations, their own cloud, and their own ecosystems. Then the next product arrives and wants to become the center as well. Apparently, every smart home device believes it's the main character. Astrion never tried to do that. It assumes Home Assistant is already brain of the house. Turn off kitchen lights.
Turned off the lights.
That's why controlling lights, climate, music, or scripts all feels consistent. It's exactly the same Home Assistant I'm already using, just on a much smaller screen. The same goes for voice. I've recently been testing Home Assistant's new local AI conversation engine called Sophia. It's still early days, but one thing became obvious very quickly. Voice isn't replacing the remote. The remote isn't replacing the voice. They are solving different problems. If my hands are full, voice wins. If I'm already sitting on the sofa, the remote wins. If I don't need to do anything at all, Home Assistant automation wins. And honestly, that's probably the smartest lesson this remote taught me. The best interface isn't the one you use for everything. It's the one that makes sense in that particular moment. After a few weeks, I realized something quite interesting. I wasn't really testing a remote control. I was testing another way of interacting with Home Assistant. Let's be honest, in most Home Assistant households, there is usually one person building the automations, and everyone else simply wants the house to work. For us, opening the Home Assistant app feels perfectly normal, which probably also explains why our dashboards never look the same for more than a couple of weeks. Everyone else usually prefers something much simpler. Light switch, voice command, remote. Something familiar, something they don't have to think about. And I think that's where Astrion makes the most sense. Not because it replaces your phone, not because it replaces voice, and certainly not because it replaces Home Assistant automations. It complements them. If my hands are full, I'll use voice. If Home Assistant already knows what should happen, I don't want to do anything at all. But when I simply want to adjust the air conditioner, dim the lights, or start some music, reaching for dedicated Home Assistant remote just feels right. I don't think Home Assistant needs one perfect interface. I think it really needs right interface for the right moment. Sometimes that's automation, sometimes it's voice, sometimes it's your phone, and sometimes it's a remote sitting on the coffee table. When I started testing Astrion, I thought I was reviewing another smart remote. Turns out, I wasn't. A few weeks later, I stopped thinking of it as a remote altogether. It simply became another Home Assistant dashboard. And honestly, I think that's the highest compliment I can give it. I really do hope that you did enjoy watching this video. And if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up because it really means a lot. Also, I would like to hear your comment. What is your favorite way of accessing Home Assistant? And as always, before I end up the video, I want to say thanks to all those wonderful people that are supporting me and that have become YouTube channel members. Thank you all for all of your support. But let's not forget each and every one of you who has watched, shared, liked or commented on my videos. Thank you. If you too want to support the channel, you can do so by clicking the join button down below and becoming a YouTube channel member for only €2 or $2 per month. Or you can go to my merchandise store and grab something there. Last but not least, you can always send me super thanks and I will be super thankful for that. I'll be seeing you next time. Until then, bye bye and have fun.